Hello and welcome. My name is DW and this is my little slice of the internet I like to call Dub's Beauty Diary. Today we are doing another tag video. It's called the Eyeshadow Palette Lovers Tag by Angelica Lyramar. I'm sorry. I do watch her YouTube channel, but I saw Lisa Lobotomy do this, so it must be like an older tag video, which is fine. I'm totally okay with doing older videos. But first, before we get into the tag, I wanted to just, I posted a base routine. I'll link that down below, and I needed help on like how to do it. And so I took some advice. First off, I took Carolyn, Nicole, and Jennifer's advice to do cream, setting powder, powder products, and then spray. I think that's fine. Doesn't look cakey or anything, but it doesn't look any different than what I normally look like, so I guess that's fine. And then Raluca suggested putting blush just on the apples and then bringing it out a little bit instead of doing the whole C that I normally do, so I did that today. And then I followed Andy's whole routine, and I posted a little clip of what my face looked like on Instagram stories. But the one thing I did like about her routine is she places cream or a liquid highlight right here and then puts highlight where she normally does. So I've been doing that since I've done that, and I really like that. So I will keep doing that. But other than that, let's just get into the tag video, okay? So a palette, number one, there's 10 questions. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over my cold and my brain is everywhere right now. Anyway, number one, a palette I regret that I didn't buy. And I am going to say, I'm going to have a picture of it over here because I obviously don't have it, but it is the Odin's Eye Diversa collection, but specifically Judy's palette, Red Dragon. I don't know why. I don't like red eyeshadow, as I'm wearing like a pink red today, but anyway, this palette still haunts me. It still haunts me. I look on Mercari every day to see if I could get it for a decent price, and I can't, and I don't know. I love Judy, don't love red. And out of all three of the ones that came out, I didn't buy any of them. I bought Angelica's, but I didn't buy Annette's or Tina's. And Tina's is the one that like is more my color story, but I want Judy's Red Dragon. I don't know. I don't understand it. Number two, a palette I regret buying. And I have two for this because they kind of coincide, and I regret buying both Raw Beauty Christie collabs, so the Pure one and the ColourPop one. Also, I have them for sale in my Mercari, which I have linked down below if you're interested in these palettes. But I bought both of them on launch. I loved Raw Beauty Christie. She's so real. She was just funny, and I like the way she did makeup, and I wanted to support her. I like the fact that she did like artwork, and she pulled from things in her own life. I like that. And I got the palettes and everything was great. I did not use them. I was just like admiring them for a while, and then all of a sudden her content switched, and I've kind of noticed that a lot of content creators who have collabs, their personality either switches or their whole content switches after the collab. So that's kind of annoying. But anyway, so I do not have any kids. I'm not pregnant. Nothing against her. Nothing against her. I just wish that it would have I would have had some more time with her and her makeup space before, after getting these palettes, or I don't know, just never got them in the first place because they're just not my thing. I like shimmers more than mattes, and both palettes are matte heavy. Big regrets. I don't know. Number 3, a palette I haven't used as much as I thought I would. So I've got my stack of palettes over here to talk about. This is Mercari Retrograde. First of all, this palette is stunning. I just did a palette collab with a bunch of awesome ladies in the community. That will be linked down below as well. But that was the first time I used this palette. I've had this for a while. I got it on sale at Sephora, and it's so pretty. It's so me. Used it one time. That's it. So I thought I was going to use it all the time, but apparently not. Palette I used more than I thought. For that one, I chose Kaleidos Sashimi City here. Here's what she looks like. So neutral. Who is she? No one knows. But these, come on. These 2 shades on top of any of these mattes just brings it to another level. And this is just a great palette. I love it. My favorite half neutral, half colorful palette, and this is maybe a stretch, but I don't care. It's the Norvina ABH palette. There is hardly any color now that I'm looking at it, but we've got this blue, these pinks, a little rose gold, some purples, mustard, but most of it is neutral. This is my favorite half neutral, half colorful palette. Number 6, a palette I bought for the packaging. A lot of palettes, but specifically this Rock and Roll Beauty Ozzy Osbourne Bat palette. Bats are my favorite animal, fun note, but this, like, no one wants this color story. It is too dark. It is, like, what is it? It's boring. But the bat, this bat, he's so cute. It's funny. I like Ozzy. Like, this is perfect. And I guess Rock and Roll Beauty is like a sub of Revolution, so I don't even know how much the how well the actual formula works. I don't know, but maybe someday we'll find out. Bought this for the packaging, 100%. A palette that you like the shimmers more than the mattes. Beauty Bay Book of Magic. Here we go. You can see that the shimmers all have like a little bit of a dip forming, and the mattes barely looked used. That's because they barely are used. Yeah, there's not really much to say. It's just the shimmer, Beauty Bay shimmers are really extra special. If you know, you know. a palette that you like the mattes more than the shimmers. Patrick Ta, Major Dimensions 1. Now, I like the shimmers, don't get me wrong, but these mattes are just so, they're just creamy. They're just smooth and they just, like, look, it's blended and I barely touched it. Like, what? Like, I touched it with my finger. Like, oh my gosh, this palette she's a wonder. Also a neutral palette. Why do I love this so much? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Number 9, a palette that happily surprised you. Melt, She's in Parties. This is one of my favorite palettes. I tried this after I tried the Mary Jane palette, which, spoiler alert, I did not like at all. But this palette is so wonderful. Like, the shimmers are great, the mattes are great, everything about it, the color story is fantastic. My baby, she's in parties. Okay, we're about done, so you don't have to put up with my craziness for much longer. Number 10. This is the last question. A palette with the most interesting color story. Now, I have a lot of palettes I haven't used yet, so I didn't include any of those palettes in this for this question. But the palette that I have used that I think has the most interesting color story is Mini Jawbreaker. I don't know why. It's kind of ugly, but like, this is a duochrome. This is so bright. It has sparkles in it. This is just a very nice gold, grungy. Like, the purples and the pinks all work together. We've got this up here, which also works with the orange and the gold and the grunge and I don't know. It just works. And this duochrome is like pink, purple, like gold. I don't know. It's very, yeah, like blue, purple, pink, like, what? It's so pretty. This palette, most interesting color story award goes to Mini Breaker. That is the palette tag, or the Eyeshadow Palette Lover Tag, created by Angelica Larimar. I will have her and Lisa Lobotomy's videos linked down below, so you can check their videos out. I'm not going to tag anyone because I don't think a lot of people do this tag. Maybe Hannah might and maybe Andy might, but other than that, not many people do tag videos anymore. And I don't know why, because they're the greatest. But with that being said, we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.